42 years ago, I was born on this rock. It's hard to believe that I've been here for more than 42 years. Jesus. Sure, you don't need to hear it from me on a social media site that the world is going to heck in a handbasket. You don't need to hear it from me that every industry of entertainment is about to die a collective super death based on people chasing whales and years and years and years of non-gamer and consumer accountability finally coming home to roost. When you complain that there's nothing to watch, play, or interact with, nothing will ever get made for you. Just that thought. And yes, I love wrestling. I still do. I would love to talk about it on here. If there were any chance that I'd get any traction for it. Surprisingly, you might be actually surprised how much I know and actually observe the sport and not just the sheets. But that's another thing for another thing. Yes, I know 2026 is supposed to be the year that two of my favorite franchises and two franchises on this channel are supposed to do a thing. I'll be waiting with debatable anticipation. And as I wait for my long-awaited Mega Man game and the return of a true video game that's not trying to oversell me something or waste 300 hours of my life saying partially nothing, or making me spend $100 on a stupid, overrated, somewhat high poly but low-brained crime simulator. No, I'm just gonna sit back and play more Zenless, an actual video game that's actually fun. If I had a laptop that didn't do 20 miles of absolutely nothing, I might have actually given Enfield a try. But because they don't want it on my console and they want it on the console that I will never play again, sorry, Arknights, you have lost a customer. So too bad for you. But at least there's hope that I might finally get to play on Christ Star Rail this year. And yes, I'm one of the guys that actually likes Black Ops 7. In fact, I love Black Ops 7. I'm the guy that probably loves the thing you hate and hates the thing you love and has no interest in buying it. I'm probably the guy that will sit there and acknowledge my tribal chief as you complain about LA Knight's 8th failed title attempt. Why? Because he's as old as I am. Let's call spade a spade. And let's be honest, I'm the guy on YouTube that you want to love, but then when you analyze my opinions, you don't want to love me. Why? Because you can't believe a person that spends most of his time in bed, and when not in bed in a wheelchair, can actually say things more educated than people that can actually walk on two legs. Yes, guys, it's my birthday. The one day where, yes, it can be all about me, like I'm Cusco. But here's the thing. I'm worried about the state of the world. I'm worried about the collective intelligence. My Mental anxiety perks up every time that I turn my TV on. Not because I give a damn too much about social media. I don't. I hardly use any social media platforms. I don't even go out and vote. I just wait until the inevitable meteor crashes in and ends a life that has gone on 42 years and a few hours longer than it should be. I am like milk. Way old milk. Expired beyond belief, but somehow I still sit in your fridge. I'm that thing that all those people in Minnesota would probably see on a news report getting done in next. For no reason than I exist. I'm the person that's getting always anxious about what my government is doing. I'm the guy that's worried that my favorite industries will no longer exist. Why? Not because it doesn't want to hire people. No, that's not what it's about. It's about people don't work fast enough because people ultimately break down, burn out. See, what these corporations want is efficiency, assurance. And people cannot guarantee neither of those things. I'm an example of it. Back when I started this YouTube channel, you could say I was pretty fast, efficient. But then I grew up and realized that the old algorithm, no matter how many times it changes, isn't worth chasing. What's chasing is still having the ability to have something to say. Something that the doctors years ago, when I was yet 3 years old, would never have the ability to say anything. 42 years on this rock, and I've said thousands of words, not only into a camera, but into everything. 42 years of watching my favorite industry self-destruct and destroy themselves because of lack of consumer accountability. They want to put it all on the businesses for not doing their job. Who gave them that job, huh? Not themselves. The only reason why video games, movies, TV, everything is about to become a streaming service that you pay a subscription for, of old games reaching into 40 years back, is because the consumer fails to take accountability for wanting those things preserved physically. They fail to take accountability for buying a $70 special edition when the $40 edition is enough. They fail to take accountability for liking a 10-hour game but wanting a 101 as far back as the 1990s. How do you think expansion packs started to happen? They failed to take accountability for the hours and hours of crunch that developers had to, but also sit there on Twitter bemoaning that the developers should do more crunch so that they can get their crime simulator out on time, while not caring that they should be paid, compensated, credited, and then worshipped on the ground they all walk on. But because developers don't share in your same want to get the thing out, or even your social views on how people should like each other, though, you get impatient and you go on a pedo's social media site and you complain about it directly. And that's what we seem to do on social media nowadays. Complain. Well, on this day, that happens to be my birthday. Even though I'm not going to do it for a whole nother 364 days, because that's not the person I am. I'm going to pretend like I'm complaining. No, I'm not complaining. I am just sadly disappointed that all the things I love are dead. Everybody wants to attend the funeral, but not understand that it was us, piece by piece, and even me included, that killed it all. Why? Because we were never satisfied. We were always hungry. On my table to the left of me, I have 2 pieces of cheesecake. I'll eat those 2 pieces of cheesecake, and I'll be satisfied. I'll play a race or 2 of Sonic Crossworlds today, and do my dailies in Endless Zone Zero, and Madden. And I might shoot some people in Call of Duty to silence, and I'll be satisfied. I'll play 2XKO, beat everybody. That clearly this game is built for a community of Marvel players, but the people playing it, because it's free, have never played a Marvel game in their life. But I'll be satisfied. I'll be satisfied if my new Mega Man game in a year only lasts 6 hours. I'll be satisfied if GTA 6 is the biggest video game bomb in history and sends the entire AAA industry into a Nevada landfill. I'll be satisfied. And I'll take my accountability for all of it. I am the death of the things you love. But also understand that you are too. You are the death of the things you love. You are the death of the movie theater experience. You are the death of the video game experience. You are the one that caused video games to go to Unreal 5 and try to hit the unattainable graphical wall, but so am I. We live in a culture of non-accountability. Because we hide under anonymity. We hide under names that we make up for ourselves. And yes, Nirvana Sparkle is a made-up name. But if you paid attention to this channel, I have never once hidden my face. You've always seen it. You know what it looks like. It's changed over the years. I used to have hair at the beginning. My mustache was then growing in. Now I have barely any hair. Why? Because the entertainment industry has nervoused it all out. Because of the lack of accountability by the people who are supposed to preserve it protected, safeguarded. The lack of accountability. But today of all days, I'm going to point the finger at myself. Not for not holding people accountable, because I'm only one man, and I am to blame. But I'm going to point the finger at myself for, well, for deciding maybe I shouldn't be a robot and produce 3 videos a day and actually live a life and play video games. And hold myself accountable for not putting every waking game and every waking moment on this YouTube channel. Because not every game deserves it. Not every topic deserves a video to be talked about. Not every frustration I have you deserve to know. Because some algorithm demands that you should, because I made the channel. No, I'm going to continue to do things the way that I've always done them. My way. Genuine. I started this channel 13 years ago because I wanted to say things. 13 years later, I still want to say things. But I don't want to say things because the algorithm demands I say things, or even people in the comment section demand that I say a thing about a thing. I watched May I Ask for One Final Thing. I loved it. Digimon Beat Break, the sequel series to the series that saved my life. I'm 50-50 on. And that's Digimon. That created one of the best Japanese RPGs since Persona, which I'm happy about. Today is my day. February 2nd of the year of our tribal chief Roman Reigns 2026. My 42nd birthday. Still hoping and wishing and dreading the fact of a Code Lyoko reboot, probably made mostly by generative AI technology. Because artists are too expensive. Especially good ones. But corporations won't take accountability when everything's on landfill. They'll point the finger at you. And then you'll point the finger back at them. And you won't hold neither of yourselves accountable for even having the finger to point. Today is Groundhog Day. The most famous thing about today is that a little animal comes out to see the light. Maybe occasionally decides to see a shadow. And if he does, we're stuck in a longer, colder thing that is now probably going to be the coldest thing on record. And yet, when you read the internet for 5 minutes, even as you chuckle at the collective stupidity of humanity, you want to crawl back into the hole and never come out. There's a good reason for that. Because we hate what we see. But we also hate the fact that we have to take accountability for the wasteland that's there. We, the society, fail to take accountability for all the things we've seen and all the things we are going to do, and we look for fingers to point. But yet, as I was growing up, nobody wanted to point the finger at me. They wanted to feel sorry for me. And I told them no. Accountability is important. So, if you see a video from this channel, and this is how it's always been, and you will see videos from this channel in the future, a lot of them, know this: I take accountability for every opinion I say, every word I say, every mistake I make, every information thing I miss. I take accountability for all of it. I take accountability for all the hate that you will spew at me, for all the love you will spew at me. I take accountability for all of it. Yes, it's me. Yes, I am the cause of every problem that I created for myself. And I am taking accountability for every problem that every video game ever has. Because I am the consumer. Meaning, if a video game goes wrong, I am accountable for it. Because I am the reason it's put on shelves. That's what accountability looks like. That's what owning it looks like. 42 years ago, the world didn't want me to own a piece of it. Well, 42 years later, I'm going to own my piece of it. My piece of its destruction, my piece of its success, my piece of my voice. I'm going to take accountability and own everything that I do and everything that I am. Because that's the only way we change things. Here, there, anywhere. It starts from looking within, and I've spent the last few years doing that. I love making videos on here. I love talking about silly shit. But every once in a while, you gotta take accountability for the state of the world and your place in it. And I decided today is that day. But the next time we get back to the fun stuff, maybe something about the Angels of Delusion being the ultimate Zenless Zone Zero gotcha trap in the history of that game. And why free-to-play players should, well, not. At least not yet. Or at least be smarter about their pools. But that's for the next video to figure out. Find peace.